On Unacademy's YouTube channel for IELTS. And as always, I am back with another video that will help you prepare better for the IELTS test. Now, this particular video is the second in a two-part series where we are discussing 9 mind hacks for you to perform better on the IELTS test. Now, on the previous video, I had explained the reason for doing this is that I come across a lot of students who hold a lot of myths and biases, either because of their own thought or their own thought process, or because of some teachers who themselves do not know what they are talking about, and that they try to push these myths in the direction of the students. So what happens is students end up not performing well on the test, despite the fact that they may otherwise be in a good position to score very high on the IELTS test. So what we had done was, in the previous video, I had picked up five of these mind hacks to help you understand how is it that you should actually go about preparing for the test. Now, on the previous video, I had shared that you can join me on Unacademy Plus to prepare for the test. Sorry, one second. I'll just quickly change the color of my pointer ink. Yep. So you can join me on Unacademy Plus to prepare for your test, right? And that I have two courses on there. One is the grammar course, one is the language course, and the other is the IELTS course. Both of these courses are 3 weeks long, right? And the classes are taught Monday to Friday. The language courses for those who are weak at English, and the IELTS courses for those who are already good at English and directly need to start preparing for the test. I'm so sorry about that, excuse me. And that you can, the fees for this is Unacademy Plus is a paid platform. And if you use my code Manil Live, you get a 10% discount on your subscription. So there is a 1 month subscription, there is 3 months, there is an option of 6 months, and then there's an option of 1 year. We'll talk more about Unacademy Plus after I've covered the next 4. So I've already covered 5, 4 more to be covered. After I've covered those 4, I will then discuss the Unacademy Plus platform in detail. Additionally, if you do have any questions about Unacademy Plus, you can always message me on Instagram and I'll be happy to answer those questions. But I mentioned this on the previous video as well. Please do not ask me questions like, sir, what do you do on Unacademy Plus? Go download the Unacademy app. Go to my profile. All you need to do is, once you download the app, go to my profile by searching for Manil Agarwal. And then on there, you'll be able to find all the details about what I teach, when I teach, how I teach. If there are still some doubts, if there are some questions, some legitimate questions, feel free to message me on Instagram. Please do not message me for additional discounts. I've already given you a code Manil Live to get a 10% discount, right, on the given fee. Do not message me asking me for free material. I will not answer to those questions. I do not give free material. I do not believe in free material because free material is useless material. All right, there is a lot of free material in the market. That is all useless material. It does not help you prepare for the test. So I would rather not give you anything than give you something that actually gets in the way of you preparing for your test. I will not give you free classes away from Unacademy. That is not going to happen. So please do not message me for any of these requests. Message me on Instagram if you want to know what is it that, if there is some genuine doubt that you still have about what I teach and how I teach on Unacademy Plus. All right. But I also recommend that download the app. All right, register, it's free. I also do free lessons on the app itself. Attend those. So you'll be able to ask me those questions over there as well. All right, and I'll be able to answer your questions live because those lessons are conducted exactly the same way. So it's better you join me there and ask me questions over there. All right. That being said, I will still discuss Unacademy Plus. I'll give it about 5-10 minutes towards the end of this class. Before that, let's get to the mind hacks. So in the previous lesson, I discussed, like I said, 5 hacks. First was managing expectations. The one thing that practically nobody ever does is managing their expectations. We don't know how to swim, right? But we want to cross the English Channel, or we don't know how to swim, but we want to swim from Mumbai to Alibag. Doesn't happen. Okay. Now, for those of you who know Mumbai would know Mumbai to Alibag means. But for those of you who do not know, I mean, you do not know how to swim, but you want to cross the sea by swimming. Okay, that's what I mean. But that cannot happen. You need to know what is it that you can do, and then set your goals accordingly, and then go step by step, step by step, step by step. And how do you do all of this? You use logic, not emotion. Because if you'll be emotional, you'll only make stupid decisions, because that is what emotion helps you to do. Logic, on the other hand, tells you that this is something you can't do. Now, you do not like to hear that, because of course emotion tells you, oh, how dare somebody, because your ego gets in the way, and then you're like, ah, no, that's right. So logic, not emotion. Progress, not perfection. Don't go like, oh, I have to score a band 9. You're a band 5, try and go to band 5.5, band 6, band 6.5, band 7. That is how you go about it. And patience, very important. Have patience. Nothing is going to happen overnight. And finally, have faith in yourself. All right. These are the first 5 hacks that we discussed in the previous lesson. Now let's get to this. Get to the hacks of this lesson. Forget magic. Please forget magic. As I mentioned in the previous lesson as well, there are people who would have taken a test date of, let's say, 10th March. Do not know English. Will message me on 5th March. What is their target? 8,777 for Canada. Now, this is somebody who does not know English. What does 8,777 mean? 8,777 means that you are good at English. And that is literally all that it means. When you get 8,777, it means you're good at English. How does somebody who does not know English get to good at English in 5 days? Now, this is somebody who's expecting magic to happen. सिंपल स्ट्रेट अप, राइट? सीधी सीधी बात है. ये वही इंसान ऐसी बातें करेगा जिसको लगता है कि मैजिक हो जाएगा जी, हम तो जुगाड़ बैठा लेंगे कोई. फॉरगेट मैजिक स्लैश जुगाड़. One of the most ridiculous message that I receive is, sir, can I buy certificates? And these are the people who get into most amount of trouble with then embassies, because of course those certificates, the people who are selling the certificate to you are selling it to you. They might even give you a fake certificate. When the certificate gets attached and the embassy then comes back to check, they know you've submitted a fake certificate. You are banned from applying for visa forever in that country. Other countries, because whenever you give your passport number, the embassy will update that this passport number was rejected due to this reason. Every embassy around the world has access to that. You will never get a visa to any country, right? And these people who sell you these certificates, they sell them for 5 lakh cents, 10 lakh, 20 lakhs, 30 lakh rupees. Use the same money, to learn English. How difficult is it? If you have that kind of money, why not use that money to learn English? And instead of giving yourself 5 days, because that certificate will also come in at least 3 months, 5 months, 10 months. I don't know how do they sell it. I have no clue. That being said, give yourself that extra time, Learn English, appear for the test, be good at English, get the score. But forget jugaad, forget magic. Neither of these two work. Alright, neither of the two will work. 1. Next, stop being lazy. Baba, how difficult is it? You have for once decided, I want to go abroad. Now let me tell you, as somebody who's lived abroad and studied abroad, okay, life is not all easy. Okay, I know that 95% of the people who take the decision to go abroad do this because they are too lazy to think of any, they want to get away from, they're too lazy. So they've constantly been failing. Look, I don't mind failure. I have failed a lot, right? But unluckily in our country, failure is looked down upon very badly. To fail ho gaya. And then there's a lot of stress on you. There's a lot of pressure on you. And of course, I can understand with that things become difficult. But most people decide to go abroad because they're like, अरे घर पे शादी नहीं होगी, घर वाले शादी के लिए प्रेशर नहीं डालेंगे, अरे घर वाले जबरदस्ती बच्चा नहीं पैदा करवाएंगे, अरे घर वाले जबरदस्ती तंग नहीं करेंगे, right? And then what happens is, in a bid to escape, you decide कि अच्छा, I will go abroad. Now, what happens is, chalo, good decision. Yes, life is good abroad. Life is better than in India because India things are very noisy, unnecessary, right? Everyone thinks horn पे हाथ रखो, चलते जाओ, भगवान से pray करो कोई हमें उड़ा ना दे, right? That is how we live. Unluckily, that is the truth of our country. So a lot of people want to get away from it, and it makes sense. But now that you've decided, why are you being so lazy? Trust me, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, even a month into studying with me, there are students who do not take a mock test. I mean, the first step is to take a mock test. As simple as that. कितना लगता है, क्या लगता है? एक किताब है, खरीद के ले आओ मार्केट से, करेक्ट बुक ले आओ, एक मॉक टेस्ट दे दो, एटलीस्ट आपको यू नो व्हाट द टेस्ट इज अबाउट, वेयर डू यू स्टैंड. नहीं जी, मूवी देखने जाएंगे, खाना खाने जाएंगे, गर्लफ्रेंड को घुमा के लाएंगे या बॉयफ्रेंड को घुमा के लेके आएंगे, फैमिली के साथ आउटिंग करेंगे, बट एक मॉक टेस्ट नहीं दे पाएंगे. हाउ लॉन्ग डज इट टेक टू फर्स्ट स्टेप में मॉक टेस्ट, जो लिसनिंग और रीडिंग का टेस्ट देने में कितनी देर लगती है? 1.5 hours. और अगर पूरा राइटिंग के साथ कर लो तो 2.5 hours. That's it. That is all it takes. For somebody who's otherwise trying to go abroad, settle abroad, put in the rest of their lives into something which is so important for them, they're unable to take out 2.5 hours. Chalo, that is done. Fine, excellent. Now what? After that, you tell them, okay, this is step number 1 you need to do, step number 2, step number 3, step number 4, and step number 5. Now, these steps could change. For each person, it will be different, right? Depending on who you are, what you know, where you stand, these things will change, right? Now, that is up to the person who's teaching you to understand ki where do you stand and then make suggestions accordingly. That is another problem. There are a lot of lazy teachers as well. The biggest problem is there are also a lot of lazy teachers who have this one template that they are following for every student without realizing ki nahi, acha, I need to first tell this student to go take this kind of class and then come back. They won't do that either. So, and then follow this. How difficult can it be? How difficult can it be? It won't be very difficult. एक बार कर लो. I've seen students who, I mean, I'll tell you on Unacademy itself, there are students who are attending classes for 6 months and have nowhere. Why? काम नहीं करेंगे. We will not do anything that the tutor has told us to do at home. Why? Acha, another thing, the epitome of laziness, when it comes to IELTS. You want to go abroad, you want to study abroad. You were good at college. Instead of doing any kind of research online to see where is it that you can go, you walk into an agent's office. The agent says, go to this country. You pick up you go like, okay, this country, what college? This college. Without doing any research, can I go to a better university? Can I go to a better college? Can I apply to someplace better? No. So stop being lazy. You're about to spend a lot of money. For a lot of us, I included, when I went to study abroad, I had to take a loan. My father had to take a loan. All right. By God's grace, he helped me pay it off early. So I didn't have to pay a lot of interest. But that meant that a lot of other resources from home were gone. Okay. A lot of us had to make a lot of sacrifices so that we can go abroad to study. And people can't take a simple mock test. How sad is that? And guys, I know everyone who comes onto these apps to study expects that everything will be very hunky-dory and life will be, oh, the tutor will give us some 50 very beautiful words and that's it. No. You have to do it the right way. Wake up, tighten your belt, start doing what you have to do. Stop being lazy. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3. You need to understand that the IELTS test is nothing like the other tests. Now, when I mean the other test, what I mean is it's not like your IIT test. It's not like your medical test. It is not a UPSC test. This is not a test that you will appear for when you're trying to crack a government job or when you're trying to make it to a postgraduate program in India. This is nothing like the CAT. No, none of that. None of that. You see, IELTS is not a rote learning test. What is a rote learning test? A rote learning test is कि भाई, here is a set of 2,500 questions. Memorize these, go for the test, answer as many as you can correctly, and you will score a high score, and you'll make a cutoff, and you're gone. ठीक है. अब उसके कैसे होता है ना, IIT के अंदर तो the cutoff was 35% correct answers, 28% correct answers. Like, I mean, I don't know what's the latest. I'm talking about when I was at college, right? I would have all these students around me who would be like, oh, you know what, 50, I got 50 ka answer, 28 answers correct. Or is there to IIT mein pakka hoga, or you'll go to Kharagpur. Like 28 answers correct out of how many? 100. I'm like, what? You'll go to IIT Kharagpur. Okay, fair enough. But that is not how the IELTS test works. IELTS test does one thing. It checks your ability to understand. And what is it that you need to understand something? Logic, right? Knowledge. Knowledge of what? That will come to shortly. You need logic, you need knowledge. These are the two things that you need to have so that you can perform, so that you can understand. And IELTS test is nothing but a test of your ability to understand. Okay, that what has been given to you in the form of audio, in the form of passages, in the form of questions asked for listening, for speaking and writing. Okay, तो आप रट के नहीं जा सकते. I know so many and I'm so sure of all of you watching right now, and there are quite a few of you. I'm so sure some of you have sat down and memorized answers for speaking. Part 1, cue card, part 3. I am so sure. Funny thing is, on the day of the test, those questions will not show up. Why? Because I know there are some teachers who I know who tell you, Acha, I can tell you what will be the cue cards that will show up till April. The person, the examiner who's going to come take your test on the IELTS, day of the IELTS test, does not know what will be the cue card next week. Alright, they get their material a few days ahead of the test and they do not know what will be the cue cards for the next 3 months, 4 months. That is all nonsense. That is not how things work. This is not like 10 साल के question paper solve कर दो काम बन जाएगा. ठीक है, you could get lucky. You never know. It's not that questions are not repeated. Yes, questions are repeated. Indeed, I mean, of course, there is only a limited set of questions and they get repeated. There is no doubt about it. But it's not necessary everything will be repeated. So then what happens? Then what happens if it does not repeat? You do not know English. If you do not know your English, end of story. You don't know what to say because you've not memorized your answer. Right? So it is nothing like the other tests that you appear for in India and around the world. Okay. And trust me, the only way that you can do well is by having knowledge and by being able to apply logic. Now, knowledge of what? I'm saying knowledge, right? Knowledge of what? Knowledge of English. IELTS is exclusively an English test. IELTS stands for International English Language Testing System. So what I want you to get in your head now and forever till you have finished your test is that IELTS will only and only test me for my ability to understand the English, whatever text or audio that has been given to me in English, or the question that has been asked. Can I understand this? Can I understand the language and give an appropriate answer or not? That is the only thing that IELTS does. So if you understand this, you get this in your head, you will automatically understand that the one thing that you need to do is improve your English. And the more you improve your English, the higher your band score will be. It is as simple as that. It is as simple as that. It is not that अरे मेरी तो इंग्लिश उससे ज्यादा अच्छी है बट उसका बैंड 6.5 आया, मेरा तो बैंड 6 ही आया. ऐसा नहीं है. उसका बैंड 6.5 इसलिए है बिकॉज उसको समझ में आया कि उसको क्या करना है एंड उसने उस हिसाब से उस चीज को रिस्पॉन्ड किया. कई लोग क्या होते हैं, पीपल I mean, and this is the stupidest thing, alright, and this is the stupidest thing, and unluckily a lot of teachers and tutors also enforce this on students, I've sort of reinforce this for the students. Complex sentences use करने. IELTS में नंबर अच्छे चाहिए तो complex sentence use करो, complex sentence use करो, complex sentence use करो. अरे complex sentence क्या होता है, complex sentence कब use होता है, complex sentence क्यों use होता है, वो तो समझो. ऐसे नहीं होता कि जबरदस्ती complex sentence बना दिया. अरे जरूरत ही नहीं है complex sentence की, तो क्या करोगे complex sentence use करके. It's a simple sentence required. Complex sentence does not mean that it's a more difficult sentence. Complex sentence just means that there are two different ideas which are directly linked with each other. Do you need to do so? If you don't, then why do you need to use a complex sentence? So understand. So if you know what English is, if you know how it works, if you have the knowledge of the language, you can automatically understand that's what is being said, right? Because once you have knowledge, right, which means you can use your logic to understand, bring things together and understand, okay, overall this is what is being said, overall this is what is being asked, and this is what I need to answer. ठीक है, और उस हिसाब से फिर आप जवाब दे सकते हो. जितना एक्यूरेट जवाब उतने अच्छे आपके बैंड स्कोर. तो आई हैव सीन स्टूडेंट्स जिनकी की इंग्लिश वीक होती है ना, वो क्या करते हैं, वो अपना दे विल कीप वो अपना उसको IELTS के मॉक टेस्ट घसते रहेंगे. आज मैंने बैठ के आई हैड स्टूडेंट्स विल बी लाइक, आज मैंने बैठ के 4 रीडिंग टेस्ट दिए। अरे भाई पर तेरे को इंग्लिश ही नहीं आती तो रीडिंग टेस्ट देके करेगा क्या? तेरे को समझ ही नहीं आया, कितना बैंड्स का कितने आए सर? 18 करेक्ट है, 17 करेक्ट है, 21 करेक्ट है, क्या करोगे 18 17 21 का? इट विल नॉट टेक यू एनीवेयर, इट विल नॉट टेक यू एनीवेयर, है ना? सो और जो बहुत अच्छे होते हैं इंग्लिश पे, वो अपनी आईएलटीएस टेस्ट की तैयारी छोड़ के, क्योंकि उनको सीधा सीधा आईएलटीएस टेस्ट देना है, वो आईएलटीएस टेस्ट तैयारी छोड़ के वो इंग्लिश इंप्रूव करने में लगे होते हैं। क्योंकि जो टीचर के एक ऐसी टीचर के पास चले जाएंगे जिसको खुद को इंग्लिश नहीं आती, उन्होंने क्या बोला इंग्लिश में उनको ही नहीं समझ में आया, जी आपकी तो इंग्लिश वीक है, your English is weak, you need to improve your English. I've heard ridiculous things like you're not supposed to use idioms in the IELTS test. Why would you not use idioms? And then there are people who will be like, अगर आपने idioms नहीं use किए in the IELTS test तो आपको नंबर नहीं मिलेंगे। ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता। These are all myths. This is all nonsense which is perpetrated unluckily by tutors themselves. Right? It is nothing but a test of your ability to speak in English. बस ये अपने जहन में बिठा लो, अपने दिमाग में बिठा लो कि मुझे इंग्लिश आनी चाहिए। अब उसके अंदर हम अनलकीली हम सबने वो 5 शब्द तो रट ही रखे हैं। कई को लगता है बस हम वो 5 शब्द रट देंगे तो इंग्लिश में नंबर आता, हमारे आईएलटीएस में नंबर आ जाएंगे। But that's the thing. You see, if you knew English, if you knew your English well, you would know that those words are not necessary. In fact, they're not required at all. Why would you need those? I mean, understand what is it that you need to use, and then probably you'll score a lot better. You'll probably score a lot better. I mean, I had students in my classrooms who suddenly say, get up and use one of the words. And I'd be like, do you know why would you use this word? Huh, sir, yes, sir, I know this. I'm like, okay, use your sentence again. Now link the whole thing that you said for me and then try and justify the word that you just used. And they would never be able to do so. Why? Because they do not know English. They've just memorized a few words from this page, from that page, from this book and that book. Doesn't work. All right? Doesn't work so. So, learn your English. Once you know your English, you have the knowledge of the language, you'll automatically be able to use logic. God has given it to you. Trust me. I don't need to teach you. Logic सबके पास होता है. Just that with time, you learn to make it stronger. You learn to develop it better. ठीक है? और कुछ नहीं है. करते चले जाओगे, होता चला जाएगा, आपकी English improve हो जाएगी. As your English gets better, your band score will improve. और कुछ नहीं है इसमें. इसीलिए मैं अपने सारे students को, I always tell my students, if they're weak or average at English, please go for the language course. Do not come for the IELTS course. IELTS preparation, the test prep, should take you no more than 10 days. It should take you no more than 10 days. Period. Anyone who needs more than 10 days to prepare for their IELTS test, the test, okay, is somebody who needs first English lessons. So first improve your English. Once you've improved, ठीक है, I can understand 15 days. You need 15 days, maximum 20 days to prepare for your IELTS test. But I mean, the moment I'm going beyond 15 days, probably 20 days, I think we are wasting our time. I mean classes, not days. I mean 15 to 20 lessons of an hour each maximum. Okay, that's it. Done. Job done. You don't need more than that when it comes to IELTS. So if you think that you are having an issue, your mock test scores are low. You're scoring band 5, 5.5, 6, right? You need an overall 6.5 on academic, right? If you're scoring a band 6, go improve your English. Give yourself, if you're already at band 6, give yourself 1 month. Give yourself 1 month of improving your English. If you're at band 5.5, give yourself 2 months. If you're at band 5, give yourself 3 months. If you're at band 4.5, you need 6 months minimum to improve your English. And if you're band 4, give yourself 1 year. So that is how you will know that. So improve your English and then see, it's magic. I said forget magic, but trust me, you will actually realize that there is magic after you know your English. Once you know English, you will be the one creating magic with your own words. All right, say learn English. So that's it. Those were the hacks that I wanted to share with you today. Right. So totally we covered 9 hacks. I'll run through all of those again for you very quickly. Manage your expectations, all right? Don't be ki acha I'm standing at band 5 today, I want to score band 9 tomorrow. Won't happen. Give yourself an honest timeline to prepare for your test, okay? And use your logic, not your emotions. Just because you like आपकी ego है, घर वालों ने घर में किसी ने बोल दिया तेरे band 6 ही आए, अरे तेरे तो band 7 आ जाने चाहिए थे. Just because somebody said that, you can't go like अच्छा नहीं, अरे इसने बोल दिया मेरी ego hurt हो गई, मैं तो कल band 7 लेके आऊंगा. Use your logic. How long do you need? What is it that you need to do? What is it that you need to fix? What is it that you need to improve? All right? And look for progress, not perfection. You can't be like, अरे मेरे को तो band 6 लाने, तो हर बार मुझे academic test देते हुए reading के ऊपर I have to score 26 correct. There will be times when you score 25 correct. There will be times when you score 29 correct. Your objective should be, once you started, after you've improved your English, and then once you start preparing for your test, every day you want to get one more answer correct as compared to the previous one, or maybe three more answers correct, or five more answers correct, all right? But look for progress, not perfection. Have patience. Have patience. You can't suddenly go like in 1 week, I will, be ready for the test when you don't know your English. All right. Give yourself some time. And finally, in that time period, have faith in yourself. Have faith in yourself. Okay. If you will set yourself unrealistic goals, you will automatically lose faith. So set real goals, goals that you can achieve. And don't ask somebody else what should be your goal. You need to decide your goal. Okay. Again, forget magic. If you know English, you will create magic. Somebody else will not do magic for you. Stop being lazy. I think this is the most important one. Stop being lazy. And then this test is not like your regular Indian entrance exams. It's different. All it does is it tests your ability to understand that's what being said, that what is being said in English. All right. So guys, this was all that I had to say. Once again, consider joining me on Unacademy Plus. All right, where I have two courses that I'm offering. One is the language course. For those of you who find yourself to be average or below average or weak at English, join this one first. Those of you who are already above average, good or very good or excellent at English, you can go straight for the IELTS course. Both these courses are of 3 weeks in length, right? I only teach Monday to Friday so that I do not eat into your weekends. I understand we are all either at colleges or at work and we need our weekends off, right? So get on there, download the app. First of all, download the app, right? Download the app and start attending lessons with me on the app itself. Once you're on the app, subscribe to Unacademy Plus and use the code Manil Live, MANIL Manil Live. And this is all one word, all right? Manil Live is one word, and you'll get a 10% discount while you subscribe to the platform. So if you're somebody who's weak at English or average or below average, go for the 3 month subscription. But if you're somebody who's already above average or good or very good at English, 1 month is sufficient. Right. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I'll see all of you on the app. Like as I mentioned earlier, we do some free lessons for you on the app itself so that you can experience what does it mean, what is it like to be in a live class with us, right? On the app itself, it's faster. On the app itself, there is no lag between me speaking and you listening, because like on YouTube, there is always a lag. I'm about what you hear, I've already said about 10 seconds earlier. And then when you type and I reply, there's a lot of lag between that. On the app, there is no such thing. Things are instant, all right? So the classrooms are a lot more efficient. There's a lot more fun. There are a lot of students in there. So it's good to study collectively. So download the app, join those lessons, experience what does it mean to be, how is it to be in a live lesson with me on Unacademy Plus, and then subscribe. So guys, thank you so much for joining. I have a few more lessons scheduled on YouTube over the next 2 days, tomorrow and day after. Those will be around vocabulary, and I'll be teaching you 21 words that can be useful, that could be useful, can be useful on the IELTS test, all right? So stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining. Remember, for IELTS, keep it simple and stick to the basics. Goodbye.